Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to some more F1 My Team here today for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Now real quick, I'm going to get the plug out of the way straight away. If you missed the previous episode at Mexico, it was critical for the championship, then go check it out guys. I'll leave a link up in the top right hand corner of your screen and go watch that before we jump into any potential spoilers. But today we are here at Interlagos for the Brazilian Grand Prix, the penultimate ever episode of this entire series, only this race and one more to go in Abu Dhabi. And for this one we're going to start from the very back of the grid, as of course we've already won the championship and we're just going to have a bit of fun and really try to enjoy the last two races. So guys, if you're going to enjoy today's episode, leave a like. Let's try and hit 700 likes for today's episode. Subscribe for more and let's see how the Brazilian Grand Prix goes. For the penultimate time, we jump into the laptop and you can see the weather forecast is dry this weekend. We then look at the R&D graph and yet again we have another ultimate upgrade on the car and we're getting closer and closer to maxing out the car, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the car would have looked like in next season had we stayed on. Either way, we're by far the most dominant car on the grid as we head into practice, and it's going to be a relatively straightforward session in the sense that we're looking pretty quick, but rain did disrupt the program. So there was rain in FP1, FP2 and FP3, so this was the only dry running we got, and it was right at the start of FP1, so I only managed to get a couple of dry laps in, so I didn't really hit all of my practice programs, but I did enough to the point where, you know, we got a decent amount of R&D points and hopefully we'll buy some upgrades at the end of the episode. But with practice done, we had a pretty decent one, and yeah, overall no complaints. We scored a good haul of points to put into investment at the end of the episode, and after qualifying, of course, taking that into account as well, as we are going to skip qualifying, Mick Schumacher does pick up a couple of points in the rivalry, even though we've pretty much wrapped it up already, so no big rule changes there, and also some very marginal changes to the acclaim. I actually lose a little bit because I didn't qualify, and the one last thing we are going to do before we jump into the race is change the engine components to the last fresh ones that we have left, so we have maximum power starting from the back of the grid. So there we go, we're ready to go. It's now time for the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Welcome along then to the place where heroes and history are made. It's where the 2008 title was decided in the final corner. And it's the place, a year later, that Jenson Button stormed through from 14th on the grid to claim his one and only Drivers' Championship. It's Interlagos, and it's time for the Brazilian Grand Prix. It's an unusual anti-clockwise race here at Interlagos, where the Sao Paulo locals are packed into the grandstands at each of the 15 corners around this classic 2.7-mile circuit. Two very fast sections bookend the famous and highly technical Sector 2, where getting a good run out of Junção into one of the two DRS zones will be the key to any overtaking prospects today. Alongside me once again for coverage of today's race, it's none other than the great Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Martinez. No grid penalties, no mitigating circumstances, just a poor qualifying performance and a very disappointing start position for them today.
It's not a nice feeling, I promise you. They've got a quick car underneath them, but they've got onto the grid today and they need a pair of binoculars to see the start lights. They'll be desperate for a good start to make up for some of that deficit.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. George Russell will begin today's event from pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Stroll, Hamilton, Daniel Kvyat and Leclerc, Verstappen, Albon, Vettel and Pierre Gasly, Perez, Magnussen, Esteban Ocon and Norris, Aitken, De Vries, Antonio Giovinazzi and Roman Grosjean, Latifi, Schumacher, Martinez and Carlos Sainz will start from the back of the grid. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Well guys, here we go. It's going to be a pretty straightforward race. We've already won both championships and we're starting from the back. We have got, of course, the fresh power unit components in the back of the car, and that should hopefully help us push forward. But yeah, starting last row on the grid, P21, we're going to try and win the race. Simple as that. I think we can do it. Strategy for the race is going to be soft medium. The game doesn't allow me to do soft medium by choice, so we've got the hard tyre on there, but we're not going to use the hard because it's absolutely terrible around here. I was debating starting on the mediums, but I feel like if we start on the softs, we can be a lot more aggressive and try and make up a bit more ground early on. Fuel wise, I've overfueled by half a lap. We're going to need a bit extra fuel just to make sure we make those overtakes. And, you know, the pit straight is quite long, so we're going to have to make sure we have that in the reserve to help make those overtakes count. No rain expected. It's going to get better and sunnier as the race goes on, so it's going to be a relatively straightforward one. We're just going to see how many places we can gain, and we're going to see if we can try and win the race from the back of the grid. Here we go. Let's try and get a good start here on these soft tyres and use them. The lights are on and they're off. It's a quick 5 lights. We bog down though, and Sainz gets a good launch, but he gets a bit boxed in. We're going to try and use the outside line here into the first corner. Easy does it. I want to be aggressive, but at the same time I want to be a little bit cautious. You know, be wary of how the AI behave. Still P21 though, not the best start. We're going to try and make a bit of a move here into turn 4 maybe. Down the inside of both Williams cars, Latifi and Schumacher. So we get the 2-for-1 special there. I wasn't too convinced about that. I thought Schumacher might have turned in at me there, but luckily that didn't happen. And now through the double right into the hairpin, we've got both Haas cars side by side here. I was going to go down the inside, but a bit of a Haas roadblock. Unfortunately, we're going to have to just sit back for a second and let these two kind of sort it out amongst themselves. Into the hairpin again, just trying to find a bit of space, but that's not really occurring at the minute. Out of here, maybe down the hill. They're side by side still, but no gaps really appearing. We're going to wait, try and get the drive out of here if we can. There we go. The fact they're side by side means they're not going to get any kind of a slipstream. We're going to cut right back underneath the pair of them and blast past with the ERS, and there we go. Job done. We'll take that. P17. End of lap 1. That's exactly what we wanted. We've now got both Alphas in front of us. So more Ferrari-powered cars, which tend to be quite slow. So let's get after them and make some more progress. Here we go. We're all over the back of Aitken here. Just got to try and make sure we get the drive out of there, which we do. Nice bit of traction as well. You can see the straight-on speed already starting to kick in here as we close in on the Alpha. He goes defensive, so we're going to commit to the outside. And there we go. Job done.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
And we're going to get DRS now. Can I get close enough to De Vries to maybe get past him as well? We're about to find out. Look at this, the closing speed here. Down towards turn 4. We've got a long way around. De Vries runs it in a bit hot, bit of contact there. But we'll definitely beat him when it comes to straight on speed out of there. And there we go. We're ahead of both Alphas now. I'm going to double check, make sure I've got no wing damage, which I don't have. So happy days. Ocon up next. I've overfueled massively, by the way. I'm saving so much fuel. Don't need to run Lee mix. But here we go. Closing in on Ocon. I'm just going to wait for the DRS to try and line this one up. The Renault's a bit better on the straight compared to the Alfa Romeo. Down towards turn 1. Can't brake too late because we've got the racing point there, but we're going to go clean around the outside. And then we'll pick up the inside line through there. So now P14 is ours. Magnussen is next. Let's get past Magnussen here. Again, try and get the drive out of this corner. He doesn't have a super strong slipstream from Pierre Gasly, but he does have the Mercedes engine, but we should still be getting by relatively easily. And there we go. Bit of a wiggle on the straight, but luckily we avoid contact. And we're through. Another one down. That's P13 for us as we managed to get the car slowed down beautifully into the center S. Here we go. Gasly up next. I'm just so much quicker. The upgrades now are really noticeable. Like the car is just so damn fast now. It's really, really insane. But Gasly actually pretty strong straight on speed. Vettel's going to be a bit of a sitting duck in that Ferrari. We know how slow Ferrari cars are. Seb locks up into turn 1. We're going to take a very wide line to get the car back through here. All right, let's just wait and be patient. We'll get underneath Vettel first of all, and now we'll try and get the tow from Gasly. Here we go, down towards turn 4.
We're a +1 lap of extra fuel. Fuel target +1.
Beautiful. Another flawless double overtake. We've made our way through half the field. P11 now. Norris up next. Here we go. Let's get Lando. Pretty straightforward middle sector and exit. We're going to just drain the battery. I'm going to hold it a little bit back because I'm about to run out, but we should still get the move done. And there we go. Purple third sector. And we're now into the points. P10. We're flying here. Absolutely just cutting our way through like a hot knife through butter. And we're only 7 laps in. Okay, we've caught up to the main pack now as we have DRS on Perez. Personal best as well. I'm surprised that wasn't the fastest lap, in fairness. That was a pretty strong lap from me, but we move. Let's close in now, Sergio, and try and get past if we can. Tyres feel great. They last forever around here, hence why we're going for that strategy. I'm going to try and get past Perez if I can here. It's a bit of a tricky one after that because the train of cars ahead is so large. The DRS and the ERS are going to be so ineffective. It's going to be really hard to pass. I mean, this one's going to be pretty tricky as it is, but luckily Perez isn't quite on the back of these guys, so we should be able to get this one done. It's going to be close, but we'll give it a crack. Here we go. Down the inside into one on the brakes. Lovely stuff. Not my usual overtake, but we get it done, and we're now P9, but now it's going to get a bit trickier because of the constant DRS train ahead. We may have to try something different here because we're going nowhere on the straight. This DRS train is a bit mad, so we may have to go for a bit of a risky move here and there, just to try something different, which we're going to try. Like I said before, tyres feel great, so we can definitely have a few attempts at this and try a few experiments, like here, for example, through the hairpin. We're going to try and get a cutback on Albon. Around the outside we go. Getting stuck in already here, around the outside here as well. And we're through. Job done. P8. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Let's go. No one's pitting yet, so we're going to have to get these overtakes done on track. Right in the back of Leclerc this lap. Wasn't able to do the exact same move as I did on Albon, but still, the one thing I know about the Ferrari is that it has no straight line speed, so we might still be able to get this one done on this straight. Just knowing the Ferrari's weaknesses, we've got plenty of ERS to drain here. And here we go. Once we get Leclerc defensive, he's off the slipstream. He's going to be vulnerable. Pretty deep on the brakes from us. To be fair, Leclerc does match me. Hanging in there. And we're through. There we go. P7. We're just cutting our way through, man. This is light work. Okay, so cars in the pits. One of the AlphaTauris. And look at the closing speed here on Verstappen. I fancied a little look, but we'll wait. Things are going to start to open up now with the pit stops. Let's see who else follows George into the pit lane. Either way, we've got the run here and the Verstappen pit, so that's going to make it even easier for us. Looks like Stroll's in the pit lane as well.
Approaching the pit window, you'll be on the mediums.
Russell onto hards, so we can definitely win the race once we get to those mediums. Let's try and get past the two Mercedes though. Well, here we go. Let's hope Hamilton pits first, and then that leaves me one-on-one with Bottas to get by quite easily. We're about to find out though. I've got to say, fuel-wise, the car is so efficient, it's unbelievable. Here we go. Gonna get past Bottas here. Full beans into turn one. Super late on the brakes. Hanging around the outside. And there we go, we're past Bottas. But like I was saying, the car is so efficient now, fuel-wise, it's unbelievable. I'm just saving fuel so much. I could have, and I probably will in the last race, run the lowest possible fuel, because the car just saves all the time. It's unbelievable. The ultimate upgrade that I've done for this race is unbelievable in terms of how effective it is. But anyway, that's that. We're now into the lead of the race. We're going to pit next lap, so we need a strong lap and a half here to try and gain a bit of time back on Russell. That's the aim anyway. Right, here we go. We're going to box this lap. We've actually pulled away from George a little bit, which is good. We're now going to strap on a set of mediums. He usually does it on the pit entry, probably a bit too easy, but fair enough. We were on for a personal best, so the lap was strong. We're defending ourselves from Bottas and Hamilton, of course, who have had 1 and 2 laps respectively on their medium tyres. Let's see how this goes for us. Into the pits.
Exit.
Not a good stop. 2.8 compared to the last race, but we're looking good here.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
This is looking tasty, boys. Looks like we're P3. We've overcut the Mercedes, boys. And yes, we have. There we go. Hamilton's right behind us, and Bottas is behind him. So beautiful scenes. Straight up to P3 with that overcut, jumping a load of cars. And we've now got a tyre advantage. Russell is the outlier on the hard tyres, so let's see how this goes. But we can definitely win this. Well, this should be a new fastest lap in theory. We're absolutely flying on this one. Let's see, across the line we go. And there we go into the 1 minute 5s. That's what I'm talking about. And we're now closing in on Stroll. We should just about have DRS here, I think. Yep, so hopefully by the end of the lap we can challenge. Right, let's get this one done and move up to P2. Stroll having a pretty decent race, to be fair, by himself, but we're about to ruin the second place party for him. Here we go, full power, full beans, waiting for the DRS. To be fair, the AlphaTauri hanging in there quite nicely, but now with the DRS, I'm starting to close up a little bit. Around the outside into 1, we're going to have to leave a bit of room, but we'll get it done around the outside quite easily. And there we go, job done, P2 for us. Russell 13 seconds up the road, and about 14 laps to go. It's going to be tight. I'm going to need these tyres to hold on, but Russell seems pretty fast, to be fair. The gap is bigger than I thought. I'm not really catching George. It's been a couple of laps now. I've dropped Stroll, but I've only gained about 8/10 on my teammate, so Russell is extremely strong around here. Even on those hard tyres, I'm not really fast enough to catch him at this rate. I need more, but I don't really have any more. Ooh, okay, Russell takes away my fastest lap. I don't know if I've got a response to that. I'm trying my best, but I'm about 1/10 and a half off my personal best, so I think I've got to say GG to George. I don't really have anything for him today. Russell improves again. I'm actually improving this lap. I'm on for a personal best, but will that actually stay that way? I've got to manage ERS. Nope, not able to get it back, unfortunately. That was a really good lap as well, so GG's to George. Well, here we go, last lap of the race. I can't lie, the fuel efficiency upgrade that I made may have actually hurt me. Look at the amount of fuel that I have saved up, and I've been pushing. You know, I can't go any more faster than this, and I can't use any more fuel than I have. Russell wins it and picks up the fastest lap, so fair play, grand slam for him as we come home for P2, and I'll take that. A decent race once again.
Great drive, great drive. We're really happy with that performance.
And so the celebrations begin, and well earned they are indeed. It may have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level, at the very top, is anything but simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion. That's a spectacular victory then, and with it, the championship is secure. It's been a magnificent season, and they thoroughly deserve the cheers of the crowd here today. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
The faces on our top 3 look so incredibly happy as they make their way up to the podium. A much-deserved victory and a brilliant performance from them all.
Well guys, there we go. That is it for the race here today. George Russell, pole, win and fastest lap. Fair play to him. He made the hard tyres work. We finish in second place and a decent recovery. We'll try again next race in Abu Dhabi to try and make the last to first challenge work. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be another fun race, guys, and hopefully you guys enjoy it with me for the final time in this series. Lance Stroll picks up a podium today. Great race from him ahead of Bottas, Verstappen and Hamilton. Leclerc P7 ahead of Kvyat, Perez and Albon. And then missing out on the points, we have Gasly, Vettel, Norris, Magnussen, Sainz, De Vries, Ocon, Aitken, Giovinazzi, Latifi, Schumacher and Grosjean. Looking at the driver standings, of course, we're roll clear, 44 points clear of George. Hamilton overtakes Kvyat for P5. And then in terms of the constructors, we are almost 400 points clear from Mercedes. But guys, that is it for the race here at Brazil. We're now going to move into the main menu and put some final upgrades on for the final time. So there we go then, guys. That is it. Rivalry breakdown time, and we outscore Mick Schumacher once again. And with one race to go, we have officially wrapped it up and it's job done for us in GG. We then look at the team acclaim and we don't gain nothing, but George does gain a little bit for the team. So fair play to George on that one and congrats to him for the win. We then move over to the cash bonuses. Now, I wasn't able to get a full payout because due to the wet practice sessions, I wasn't able to get the fastest lap in one of those sessions, and also a few damage deductions, of course, from practice as well due to the wet sessions. I had a few issues. So yeah, overall, still a decent weekend and plenty of money. Not that we're going to spend it, but still, we're looking pretty decent. We now move into the main menu and we renew our sponsorship with Sudo. Of course, at this stage, there's no real need to change anything. We then move on to the activities tab, and we are going to throw a couple of activities on there, to be honest, just to purely save a bit of space, you know, just to fill it up a little bit and put a few things on there. No main reason why. We then move over to the R&D graph. Now, to complete the tree, we finished the engine in the last episode. We're now going to finish I was going to finish the aerodynamics, but then I realized I didn't have enough points. So we are going to go and put on a minor upgrade for the brakes. And we should be able to purchase the last 2 remaining upgrades in the next episode. So we should be able to max out the car, you know, if we were heading into Season 5. We then simulate time and move ahead to the last race in Abu Dhabi. So guys, there you have it. Job done, and 1 race remains in this entire series. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to try and end on a high. If you guys enjoyed the video, then leave a like, subscribe for more, and check out the 2 videos on screen right now, including the previous episode. And yeah guys, that's going to be for me here today. The next episode will be after Christmas, so I wish you all a happy Christmas, and hopefully everyone stays safe, and I'll see you guys very soon. But until then, take care, and it's goodbye from me. Adios.